Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. You know those days when you've put on your makeup, your foundation is popping, your makeup is looking bomb, and then after some time, after a couple of hours, it just starts looking greasy. Then the oils from your face mix with your foundation and your powder, and then you just look cakey and your makeup doesn't look cute anymore. Yeah? Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some tips on how you can stop your makeup from doing that. I'm gonna give you tips for greasy proof makeup, if that's a word, sweat proof makeup, makeup that's gonna last you all day, heck, bulletproof makeup. So the tips I'm going to be sharing with you are especially for you if you have oily skin. I personally don't have oily skin, I have normal to dry skin, but still sometimes I want my makeup to be matte all day. So if you have normal to dry or dry, these tips will also apply to you, and I'll share with you on how you can modify them a bit to suit your dry skin or your normal to dry skin. I used to be a makeup artist, so I worked with different skin types, so I kind of got to apply these tips on people who have oily skin, and they work. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first tip I have for you guys is to prepare the skin, okay? Number one is to moisturize. Whether you have oily skin, whether you have dry skin, whether you have normal to dry, combination, whatever skin type you have to make sure that you moisturize your skin. There are different moisturizers for different skin types. Skin types. So if you have oily skin, if you have dry skin, you can find a moisturizer specifically for you, and make sure you moisturize before applying your makeup. So I already have my moisturizer on and we're good to go. Use a setting spray. Yep, setting spray is supposed to set, but now we're using it before we've even applied the makeup. I just feel like it helps your makeup last all day. Maybe like it just stops your oils from coming through. So when your oils are coming through, it's like Now the next step I have for you guys naturally is primer. You have to have like a base before you go in with your foundation. It'll just help everything go on much smoother. So I have normal to dry skin like I mentioned, and the primer that I have been absolutely loving is this one by Maybelline. This is the Master Prime Hydrating Primer. This thing is really hydrating, and I would highly recommend it if you have dry skin or normal skin or normal to dry skin. We're gonna do a lot of things to keep the foundation matte all day, and if you have dry skin, that could potentially make your skin just look flaky and dry and cracky. So using a hydrating primer underneath all of that is really going to help keep your skin hydrated and stop your skin from looking overly dry. If you have oily skin, then you can get a primer suited for you, so something that is more matte, something that can mattify your foundation and your skin so that the oil doesn't come through. Okay, the next tip I have for you is probably the most life-changing, amazing tip. If you take nothing away from this video and you have oily skin, at least take this away, which is the powder before foundation technique. I don't know if you've ever tried it if you have oily skin, but if you haven't, you need to do yourself a favor, sis, and start, because this technique, first of all, it not only like controls your oil such that like your foundation stays matte the whole day, but it also just makes your foundation go on more smoothly, and it just makes you look quite more flawless. It definitely makes you look more flawless. It's best to use a translucent powder and just apply that all over your face. So now that we're looking nice and ashy, we can move on to foundation. If you want a mattified look and to stay matte all day, then your best bet is definitely to go with a matte foundation, because it's formulated to generally just remain matte all day. And I'm going to be using my damp beauty sponge to apply that all over the face. It goes on so smoothly because of the powder before foundation hack. So the foundation has gone on smoothly and beautifully because of that powder before foundation technique. I'm telling you guys, try that technique out. So now I'm going to go ahead and conceal in all the areas I always conceal. So after concealing, I have gone ahead to set my concealer with my Maybelline Masterfix Setting and Perfecting Loose Powder, which I had used earlier. So if you set it, then it means the concealer will stay put all day, it won't crease, it won't get oily or greasy, and it will just stay looking flawless all day. So now I'm just going to let that powder sit on my face for some time. I'm not necessarily going to go all the way out with the baking. So just for a minute or so, I'm going to let that sit on the concealer. And while that is mini baking, I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of my face. If you want your makeup to remain matte all day and not get oily, you cannot escape this step. You have to set your foundation with a powder. So I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder. And I kind of just press this into the skin rather than rubbing, because if you rub, then I don't think you're really doing much. So if you want to get the most out of your powder, then you're best off dabbing it and kind of pressing it into the skin. And that basically goes for all the powders that you're putting on your face. So now I'm going to dust off this setting powder. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and contour and add some blush, and then I'm gonna come back and share with you guys the last tip. Okay, so now the last and final tip, and I feel is so important because we've used quite a number of powders: the powder before foundation, the setting powder, the other powder to set the rest of the face. Then you definitely need a setting spray, not just to keep your makeup locked in and last the whole day, but also to mesh all that powder and cream products that you've used into the skin. So yeah, at this point my skin is looking a little bit dry because I do have dry skin, but it's nothing that a good setting spray can't fix. Giving it some time to dry. Okay guys, so those are the tips I had to share with you guys. I promise you, if you put these tips into practice, you're going to be surprised. You're going to be very pleasantly surprised because your foundation is going to stay matte. You're not going to get oily throughout the day. You can party all night if you want and not have to worry about your makeup. If it's your wedding day and you're a bride, then you can just sit back and just relax because your makeup is going to be on fleek the whole day, no oil, no nothing. Or if it's just your everyday routine that you feel gets oily and cakey and you have to keep touching up and then these tips are gonna help you guys. They're really gonna help you. So thank you so much guys for watching. Please add your tips in the comments down below because many people struggle with this oily makeup thing. So help them by giving them the tips that work for you. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.